Hello everybody, I hope this finds you well. This is going to be the last of our little mini-series of strolls. We began the series with very simple ones for which you didn't need to be a dancer at all. This one's more complicated. You're not going to learn it sort of straight away in the normal time of a dance. It would need practice. So although this is the last of them, there's plenty of material here if you sort of want to extend learning strolls a little bit further into the summer. I've chosen this one for a slightly odd reason. Unfortunately, in the last week, I've done something silly to my knee. Minor, but it means I really don't have the flexibility right now for teaching a new stroll. So what I'm going to do is to create a single video to teach a routine called the Killer Shag routine that I taught in stages all the way through semester 1 in the beginner's Shag classes. You don't need to be a Shag dancer to learn this routine, although obviously it helps. The routine is an adaptation by Sergei Kriechkov from an original Boogie Woogie routine choreographed by Marcus Koch, and it uses Jan Reitman's Killer Boogie music. I'm going to begin by showing a video of Sergei himself leading a group of people in this stroll so that you can take a look at it and decide whether you're interested or not, and then I'll go on to break it all down and teach it step by step. As I said, I'm creating this video by editing all of the videos that I was making during semester 1 of our online Shag teaching during COVID times, and that means there'll be a few minor eccentricities in this. One is a continuity problem because I'm not always dressed in exactly the same clothes. The other eccentricity is that because this was semester 1 and I was aware that a lot of students would be in university accommodation, and also it was a beginner's class and not everybody would have dance shoes, I taught the whole routine dancing barefoot because for the main classes I wanted to be certain that I wasn't teaching any Shag moves that weren't comfortable dancing barefoot without nice shiny dance shoes to deal with friction problems. So that's obviously this is normally danced in dance shoes. It's just an eccentricity of the way that I was teaching that I wasn't doing so all the way through here. Okay, I hope you enjoy learning the routine, and after Sergei's demonstration, my slightly past self will see you on the other side. You start off with your weight fully on your right foot. You then transfer it to the left, going double flick on the other side, step, step. So the whole thing, starting with the weight on the right, in terms of the weight-bearing foot, looks like this. Left, right, 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 left, right. Okay? So it's a 6-count pattern. That may feel a little bit strange to those of you who are musically inclined, because you'll be aware there's a very driving 8-count phrase in the music. But dancers do that, and actually you will find at the end of the whole verse that 48 beats have passed and 6 goes into 48 just as easily as 8 does. Okay, so I'll put the music on, I'll count you in, and let's just dance this pattern, and I'm not going to mirror reverse it this time, but it doesn't matter because I think you'll be worrying about yourselves anyway. But we'll just dance this pattern of going 5, 6, 7, 8, double flick, 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 double flick, double flick. The flick is just a step, sorry, it's just that you may as well decorate them. Upper body, still as you can. Okay, and bent knees are the key to keeping the upper body still. Double flicks. Gada's coming up. Gada type steps. So that was out, in, out, in. And we're going to fill up the whole 8, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes? So let's do that more slowly, but we will be doing it at speed to the music. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each time, gada, gada. Out, weight, in, weight. There's a weight change on each step, but I'm using weight just to mean get your weight on that other foot as fast as you can for your balance. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I must stress, this works if your knees are bent. If they're straight, it will be hopeless. You'll be bouncing up and down and wasting energy. If your legs are bent, then as you stretch out, they're extending slightly, and as you come back in, they're bending more, so that your body is level. Another thing that we did last week was running on the spot. That's a fairly straightforward thing, so I don't think it needs a lot of practice, but let's just practice it for fun anyway. If you're living above somebody, please run as lightly as you can. Think of the most delicate little fairy at the bottom of your garden. 5, 6, 7, 8. Run, 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 run. And then we had our sort of stepping on the spot and our shimmying. That's the one, well, I can't. Ideally, I would be spreading my arms out for this, but I can't, so I'm going to keep them fairly together because of this space. But you're just going to shimmy your shoulders. So if we put those 3 things together, we're going to have 8 counts of gada, 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 gada with the legs. 8 counts of run, 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 run. And then we have shimmy. So the gada gadas, the running and the shimmy. 5, 6, 7, 8. Gada, 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 gada. Run, 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 run. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. So that's the first half of that verse 2. The second half, we're going to do I'm going to turn my back to you. So weight on the right foot as it will be, because all the way through, because we started with the weight on the right foot, that's the way it will be by now. We're going to do our step, flick, we're going to do our double flick, step, 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 step. Okay, so this pattern is different. The whole of verse 1, if you remember, the whole of verse 1 went step, so it went double flick, step, step. And that was the unit. So it went double flick, step, step, double flick, step, step, double flick, step, step. This time, and this time alone, we're going to go double flick, step, 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 step. The reason we're doing it is Sergei had the problem that the basic that dominated verse 1 is 6 counts long, but he had to fill up 8 beats here. Having done our double flick, step, 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 our left foot is free. We are then going to do the last of the things that we're bringing in from last time, which was our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to do 2 8s of those, which is what I just did. So that was putting your weight down on your left foot, the right one coming round, displacing it, displacing it, displacing it. So let's put just those last 2 things together. The step, flick, step, flick, step, 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 and then the slow kicking around. Not kicking, maybe sweeping around. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put the whole verse together. So we're going to have our gada-gadas, we're going to have our running, we're going to have our shimmying, and because I'm going to do that down there so you can see the footwork, I'm going to be really cramped for the shimmying. And then we're going to have the flick, 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 step, 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 and then the sweep around. Okay, starting with the gadas. And I'll count in beats all the time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Running. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shimmy. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flip, 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 flip. Deep, 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 deep. Down, round, round, round. And remember, this follows a verse which was completely composed of, starting with your weight fully on your right foot, was completely composed of flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step. Let's try the whole thing to music. Double flicks. Gadas coming up. Scarecrow jump. Let's do another verse. We're going to start actually by making a tiny modification to the very last part of the last verse. So the very last thing that you did, you were at the one of the very last of the 8 beats, that is beat 1 of that last set. You dropped your weight on your left foot, you went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what we're going to do is drop onto that left foot on the 8. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, this wall is constraining me from doing nice sweeps on my left-hand side, sorry. I'll move back a bit. Let's do that together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To begin the next verse, your right foot is free because you've just put your weight on the left. So you're going to step right on it, not very far, but a little bit out. Bring your left foot up to it and tap. Then step left, tap right, right, tap left, left, tap right, and so forth. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To give us a little bit of style, let me turn round to you. To give us a little bit of style, instead of just going tap, try to bring your heels together. So you're stepping out and then you're bringing your heels together for the tap. Stepping out, heels together, out, heels together, out, heels together. So it will become step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. Notice that as the speed's going up, I'm getting more dynamic balance back so that my body is moving less. So I can be going step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. You see my head? My head is barely moving from side to side. Okay, so let's just do this again. I'll dance in mirror image. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right tap, left tap, right tap, left tap. Okay. We're going to do 6 of those units in all, so we'll be going 8 beats and then 4 beats of the next verse. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we're going to do is be a scarecrow. So this is a move borrowed from 20s Charleston, and actually I've just departed from Sergei's choreography for this one move because you're probably learning this in student accommodation and Sergei's choreography will make a big noise, and that's not fair on people below you because his choreography is just as a jump in the air. So we're going to mark it a different way. So we're going to be a scarecrow. So this is a grotesque move. Scarecrows are sort of old clothes and things held together with poles. So typically you've got a pole through the sleeves and you've got dangling arms. And in the typical dance 1920s Charleston scarecrow, you have the sort of knock-kneed look. So my ankles are out and my knees are in. It's any kind of grotesque pose, a bit like a scarecrow. So let's dance this whole sequence. I'll still be in mirror image. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the 8, get your weight back onto your left foot so I'm in a mirror image, so this foot, so that you're ready to start again. The stepping out and tapping move, I'm going to call that the step tap, okay? The thing that went step tap. We're going to do a whole load of that, 4 more beats of that, so 2 more step tap units, scarecrow. Then repeat that whole thing. So we have the 8 of step taps, the 8 which is 4 beats of step taps and 4 beats of scarecrow, the 8 of step taps and the 4 beats of step taps, 4 beats of scarecrow. Let's try that together. Your weight is on your left foot because you just put it down at the end of that very last swoopy thing. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? We then finish that verse with more double flicks. So we're going to have 2 complete sets of double flick, step, step. Then we're going to do, so that will be double flick, step, step, double flick, step, step. Then we're going to do double flick, step. So that last one, flick out, then drop your weight onto the left, leaving your right foot free again. Let's just try that last little bit. So 2 complete sets of double flick, step, step, and then double flick, step. The flick step is odd, that's not something you've done before. It's not difficult, flick, step, but it's not really something you've done with that timing. 5, 6, so my weight's on this right foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, double flick, step, step, double flick, step, step, double flick, step. And now my weight's on this foot. Right. So if we put all of that together, then we will have our step, tap, our scarecrow, our step taps, our scarecrow, and then our double flick, step, step, double flick, step, step, double flick, down. And that fills the verse. Let's do that together. My weight is on the left foot. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, scarecrow. And step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, scarecrow. And double flick, step, double flick, step, double flick, step, down. When you come out of the scarecrow, you're coming out in 2 slightly different ways. I've only just realised that. Sorry, I should have said that before. Sorry, it's only dancing it that made me realise. So the first time, you've done your scarecrow, and you need your right foot to be free to go step, tap. So as I come out of the scarecrow, I'm going to bias my weight on this left foot to start another step, tap. When we come out the second time, I need my weight to be on my right foot so that I can go double flick, so stepping with the left with a double flick. Okay, so we're coming out different ways according to which way we're deciding to go next. Right, we have another verse. I'm going to demonstrate the first part of this to you in mirror image facing you, and then I'll turn around and do it in normal feet. So we're going to start off tapping forward with your right foot, then bringing it back underneath you, tapping forward with the left, bringing it back underneath you. Then we're going to flick the right forward and put it down, and flick the left forward and put it down. You may have noticed in this, if I do this in numbers, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you may have noticed something really unusual has happened. Because normally in Shag, we step on the odd numbered beats and we do decorations on the even numbered beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. But here, we have done effectively our quick, 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 quick. But we're decorating on the 5, putting down on the 6. Decorating on the 7, putting down on the 8. That gives a kind of syncopated feel that we've changed our timing across the music. But the music is going slightly odd here because the pianist is quoting from Bizet's Carmen, sort of. I mean, he's changing the timing a little bit. You'll see what I mean. I'm sure you already heard it at the end of the last piece. So there's a reason that things are changing. I'll turn around and do it slightly more quickly, and if you could follow me. So my weight is going to be completely on my left foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap, step, flick, down, flick, down. Again, with my weight firmly on my left. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap, step, flick, down, flick, down. Again, bent legs and a very, very slight forward lean make all of this flicking much easier. Last time, actually I'll turn sideways to you. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap, step, flick, down, flick, down. Good. What we're going to do after that, after our last flick down, is go into quite a wide frog, like that. So a frog is just shooting your weight out, and your weight is now on both feet. You can bias it slightly if you have a reason to, but we don't right now. I'll turn my back to you and let's do the whole thing. And that frog will be on beat 1 of the next 8. My weight's on my left leg, we're going to do the whole little verse. So we're going to do the tap, and so forth. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap, down, flick, down, frog. In numbers together, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. We're going to hold that frog for 3 beats. So it's going to be, forget the last verse, I'm just going to go straight into the frog. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, then on 4 we're going to bring our feet back together, not clanging close together, but sort of hip width. And then we're going to hop forward a little bit in the spirit of the bunny hop, but not so sensible, it's just going to be a bit calmer. And we're just going to go 5, 6, 7 with our arms out. And we can actually travel for this, we don't have to keep our shoulders still. So the whole thing will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see I am coming towards the camera. Let's try that together. There's no point at all in my reversing myself because all of this is completely symmetric. So have your feet more or less together as if you've finished doing those things. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's put that whole unit together, so the taps, the flicks, and then the frog, and the 5, 6, 7, little hopping forward. Hopping's too strong a word. I just can't think of another single syllable word that does. Our weight's on this foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap, down, flick, down, frog, in, get out, down. Having done that, we're going to clap. So, in timing, what we have done is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll clap on the 8. And then we're going to shoot back and hold that for 2 beats. So it's going to be, I'll show you and then we'll do it together. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Let's try it together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Once more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. This shouldn't be too hellish for the people below you. All of these are quite smooth movements. There shouldn't be a lot of up and down impact, by the way. Now what we're going to do, it's going to look like this. I'm sort of pivoting on my heels as I go backwards. So maybe if I turn my back to you. We had a da-da-da clap and we shot backwards. I'm now going to step. I'm going to bring my legs together, putting my right heel slightly behind my left, and I'm going to pivot my feet so they're facing that way. I'm then going to pivot the other way, pivoting on my right heel so that my left heel is now behind. Pivot, 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 pivot. If I face you, it will be, and I'm going to mirror reverse, then it will be that, 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 that. So you can see I'm actually going backwards with this pivoting action. You can do it either with your legs completely together or even with them slightly apart. You can have exactly the same effect. It's a very close move of a New York style jazz step called trucking. It's not exactly the same. Let's just try that move together. I'm going to turn my back to you. So have your right foot slightly behind your left and both feet aiming that way, sort of front right. Pivot on your right heel so that it will be backwards a little bit, and now your feet are aiming front left. Pivot on your left heel, so you're now aiming front right and you've moved backwards a bit. Pivot on your right heel, you've moved backwards a bit. Left heel, right heel, left heel. This is really difficult to do slowly, but I'm sure you get the point. So that's the step that we're going to do. I'm going to call it trucking, although it's not exactly right, because I've got to find a name for this to call it out, and it's the closest thing I know to it. This is going to have a rhythm. It's going to spread over 2 8s. So from the beginning of that from the beginning of that first 8, we had our shoot back on 1, 2. We had the closure on 3, 4 to get to there, and then we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, which finishes the 8. Then we're going to do 1, 2, so this is slow, 3, 4, so this is also slow, and then again 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I try this facing you, I'm probably not going to mirror reverse because this is starting to give me brain ache to keep switching from one side to the other. But to show you the idea of the timing, I was forward because we'd done our clap. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the end of the verse. Let's try that together. So we've just done the clap, so I count you in and let's do the clap. We're on 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You do not have to cover a lot of ground forwards and backwards. I'm exaggerating all of these movements a bit so you can see what I'm doing. You needn't cover more than about the length of your own feet. It's fine to stay put. And it's fine to make everything small, especially if you're on a high friction surface. So let's put all of this together. So we're going to start off with our 8 that went tap, back, flick, down. Then we had our verse that went frog, 2, 3, 4, gada. Then we had our, and the clap is at the end of that. And then we had what we've just done with our shoot back and our trucking. Okay, let's go for it. My weight's on this foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, tap down, flick down. A frog, 2, 3, 4, gada. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's try the whole thing from the very top. Double flips. Guitars coming up. Scarecrow jumps. Carmel's coming up. You will be pleased that the new verse is only 4/8 long, and it uses things that you already know, but I'm going to show you a workaround for something which you may find difficult on a high friction surface. And actually I think the workaround looks pretty good, so we'll use it anyway if you want to. I'll turn my back to you. The first 8 is full of something you already know. It's our 8-count basic that goes flick, 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 step, 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 step. We had one of those in verse 2. Let's do that together. My weight is on my right foot as I'm coming in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, 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 step. What we're then going to do in the full choreography version is to come out, in, out, in, out, in. So, and out in it. So it's like the Gadurga does, but we're going to accentuate it with our arms to go out, 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 out. Because the music, the pianist is hitting glissandi there. He's sort of rushing up the keyboard by kind of going up the keys. And this is happening, so we're expanding our space as he's creating this feeling of tonal expansion on the piano. This is difficult to do on, I'm even finding this difficult to do on this wooden surface in bare feet. I'm kind of longing for my dance shoes. If you're on carpet, you probably would find this quite hard. So I think an alternative is to have your feet a little bit beyond hip width apart and just be going like that and have your knees coming apart. So you're just going with bent knees, you're expanding your knees out like that. So my knees are still, bent forward, but sort of coming out to the side, in, side, side, side. And that creates, especially the arms, you're definitely hitting that glissando feeling without having to do too much of your feet. That's a workaround. I quite like it, and I will probably use it on this surface. I think it's only on a proper kind of proper shoes and proper surface I'll be doing the real thing. Then what we're doing, 2 things that you know even in this order. So we're going to run, but we're going to run very gently. So I'm going to call it jogging because the music is quite gentle there for 8 beats. And then we're going to shimmy for 8 beats, just as we did in verse 2. So if we put the whole thing together, and we do this together, we're going to have our 8-count flick, 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 step, 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 step. We're going to have our outwards with the glissandi. Then we're going to have our jogs for 8 counts and our shimmy for 8 counts. Let's do that together. 5, and our weight is starting on our right foot. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, 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 step. Out, 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 out. Jog, 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 jog. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Okay, let's add another verse. This one is going to start in a familiar way. We're going to do 2 complete flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, which will take 12 beats. That's 2 6-count units. So let's just do that together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step. Now what you're going to do is, and this little bit, a lot's going to happen in a very short time. So for beat 5 of this 8-count, you're going to bring your heels together and your knees apart. You're then going on beat 6 to bring the knees together and the feet together. On beat 7, shoot them apart, and on beat 8, bring them back together. So that whole sequence goes knees apart, together, out, back. But it's only one beat with each thing, so it's going to be a really quick apart, together, out, back. Let's do just that bit, apart, together, out, back. I'll count to 4 because this is going to start in beat 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If the floor is too sticky for you to do out, back, you can either make it a kind of gada, or if you really can't, just take your knees out again and bring them back without moving your feet, as we did in the previous verse as a get around for carpets. Once more that little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, knees out, together, out, back. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, out, together, out, back. You need bent knees to do this out and back, otherwise your body will bounce hugely. Okay, we're now going to do something rather similar, but instead of the out and back stuff, we're going to hit a pose. Let me turn my back to you. So the last one we did our flick, 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 step, step. So I waited on this leg, facing diagonally that way. I'm going to put my left leg out on its heel, have my hand like this, so arm out at right angles, finger and forearm pointing upwards, and I'm kind of sitting back on this leg, and we're going to hold that for the 4 beats. So the whole thing, the whole 8-beat sequence here, these are the 3rd and 4th 8s of this verse, is going to be flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, pose. Let's do that together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, pose. Having done that, we're going to do 2 6-count units again of our standard flick, 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 step, step type, and then we're going to do a flick, flick, and a flick, flick. We're not going to put the left foot down at the end. This is different from something we did a few verses ago. So if I turn my back to you, our last 2 8s of this verse are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this foot is still free to drop on the 1, which is what it's going to do. Okay, so to remind you about that entire verse, we have our flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, going to our knees out, together, feet out and in. Then we have the same structure, flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, going to our pose. And then we have our flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 without putting this left foot down. Let's try this whole thing. I'm going to turn my back to you because I suspect that will be easier. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, out, in, out, and flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, pose, 6, 7, 8. Flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 step, step, flick, 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 flick. Let's try that from the top with music. verse we're going to do is going to use something that we learned last week for the first time. So something that we learned last week was the step, let me turn my back to you, with the idea of stepping and flicking out the other foot and then pulling it back. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to be using this, but a little bit more to the side and without any quick quicks. So if I'm just coming here defensively because of that wall. So what I mean to the side, if my weight's on this foot, as I drop it down onto this one is going out as much to the side as I can make it, not forward as it was, or even diagonal. If that's forward, that's diagonally forward as we often do. So this is really to the side. And when it pulls in, it's pulling in so it's kind of crossing behind. Then as it drops down, this one's going to the side, crossing behind. So the whole pattern goes out, pull, out, pull, out, pull, out, pull. So it's taking up quite a lot of sideways space. We're going to do this pattern for a whole 8, then 4 beats, then we're going to freeze on the beat 5. So we'll take the beat 5 step, but then freeze. So it will look like this if I'm... it doesn't matter which foot you're on because we're going to do this, and then the next pair of 8 is going to be this in mirror image. So it doesn't matter which foot you start practicing on, you'll end up doing it in both anyway. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we just hold that. 6, 7, 8. Let me turn my back to you and I'll do it on the feet that we start with. So at the end of the last verse, we had our left foot free because we've just done flick, 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 flick. So this is free. So we're going to drop onto that, going 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Let's do this together to a reasonably slow count. So we'll stand with our weight on the right foot. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just hold that. And then as you imagine, you're going to carry on with the same thing, but because of the way you held, you'll find that you're going with mirror image. So the first foot you put down will be your right foot this time. Let's do the whole thing. So the whole 8, 8, 8, 8, the whole 32 beats. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? I should say something that can make this easier. It's the kind of thing which you don't really have to do for style at this speed. But because you've got this slight shag pulse going anyway, as you kick out, this foot can point slightly in the same direction, and as you bring it in, the foot can swivel. So if you look, for example, let me turn my back to you. If you can see my heels, if I'm kicking this way, my heel is to this side. As I swing in, my heel has reversed, so it's now pointing that way slightly. Similarly, as I do this, the heel reverses. So you have 20s style foot flaps, this sort of thing, going on quietly underneath. You don't need to do that. All of this is going to take place so fast nobody would really see it. It can help your balance. I'm mentioning this not really to plague you with something difficult and new, but if you happen to be a Charleston dancer, you will already know the move that we've just been doing. You'll call it something else and you'd have learned it by a completely different route. But use the Charleston style if you already have it in your brain. Okay. And now we are going to come to crazy legs. So crazy legs, at their basic form, is step, 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 step. But every time you're making a step, you're taking your knees apart. So as your weight comes off, your knees go apart. This is hard to do slowly, sorry. Your knees go apart. As you put the weight on, they come together. Off, apart, on, together. So if we just go step, 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 and then start to flap your knees. You don't need to make the steps big. These can eventually be so hidden that nobody can see them. I'm kind of aware that there are micro weight changes there. So this is called crazy legs. It's a move beloved of rock and rollers. Shag people sometimes do it as well. Lindy hoppers sometimes do it as well, but this really took off as a rock and roll thing. So what we're going to do, the last thing that we did, we had our pose, which was, we had our pose like this. Bring your legs reasonably far apart. So these are about something like twice hip width apart. If you want to, you can have one leg ahead of the other, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to do it with my left leg slightly ahead. Then we're going to do crazy legs. And we're going to be going flap, 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 so that my weight is now fully on my left leg by beat 5. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8. So we're back here, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just combining crazy leg movements with rocking our weight forward and backwards every 4 beats. So the crazy legs are happening on every beat, and the rock of weight is happening every 4 beats. I was going to say, does that make sense? I'm not sure that's exactly the question to ask, but let's try it together. I'm going to turn my back to you. 5, 6, 7, 8, crazy legs, and bring your weight back, and take your weight to the left, and bring your weight back. Good. Okay, let's put this entire verse together. So, reminding you, our weight was on our right foot when we started this whole verse. So we were doing our out, pull, out, pull, out, pull, out, pull. And then we were freezing on the 5. Then we were doing the same thing again, but it will be in mirror image legs, and freezing on the 5. And then we've got our 2 8s of crazy legs. Let's try it together. Weight on this foot. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Crazy legs and crazy legs and crazy legs and crazy legs. Okay. That gets us to an interesting point in the choreography, because the toreador thing from Carmen is about to start again, and we're going to do exactly what we know to it, the tap down, flick down, gada. And after it, we're going to go straight into what we already know, which was the flick, 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 step, 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 shum, 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 jog, 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 shimmy, 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 shimmy verse. So I'll let the music play, and we can tack those onto the end. And that will leave us with just 3 more verses to learn before you know the entire routine. And those verses are arguably rather easier than the ones that you've been doing now. These last 2 or 3 have been the hardest of the whole routine. It gets easier. Double flips. Good, that's coming up. Let's get 4 jumps. This I'm going to call the turning verse because it involves a great deal of turning around. I'm going to turn my back to you to explain it. So, it begins with your weight on your right foot. So this is after your shimmy, 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 shimmy. And your weight is going to be on the right foot as you start. So you'll be transferring your weight here. Flick the left foot out. So that's beat 1. Put it down behind the right foot, sort of either directly behind or across, it doesn't matter, for beat 2. And then you're going to go right, left, 4 and 3. This right foot has still got contact with the ground because you're going to use it to push off to do a turn. The turn you can, because you can keep a slight pulse in your body. You can take the weight off the standing foot slightly to let it kind of skid around on the floor, so that the turn becomes possible. So what I mean by that is that if you've got this slight pulse, then when your body's light, that's when you can do the turn. Okay? So the whole thing looks like this. Flick, cross, go, da, and round. And then you're round here. This foot is free. If you have to come down on it for balance reasons, get back to your left foot by the end. Similarly, if you're on a very high friction surface, you can go D, 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 scuttle, 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 as long as you're on the left foot at the end, okay? So if you're dancing barefoot on carpet, then you'll probably need to scuttle. I have switched to wearing socks precisely because I want to try to teach the scuttle-free version, and I actually find this too high a friction a surface to do that comfortably, at least to be doing it again and again, teaching it. But the scuttly version is perfectly okay. And the scuttly version is perfectly okay. You know, you get dancers doing this when a whole room of people are dancing all of this together. There will be some people who are scuttlers in the turn because they're wearing, for example, training type shoes rather than ballroom dance shoes. Okay, we're here. My weight is on the left. I have my right foot free. By the way, these turns are easier when they're fast. I have my right foot free, so I'm going to go the same thing but in reverse. Flick, back, ba-da, and turn anti-clockwise. It looks terrible when I'm doing it that slowly, but maybe if I do it a little bit faster. So it's going to be flick, back, ba-da, and round you go. Leaving this foot free. You know what's coming. Flick, ba, ga, da, and round you go. Leaving this foot free. Kick, ba, ba, da, and round you go. Okay, let's do another verse. I'm going to show you the look of this facing you, but then I'm going to turn round to explain all the directions. So this is a derivative. This doesn't really belong to collegiate shag. It doesn't even really belong to rock and roll. This is taken from a more modern time. So it's a derivative, sort of the 60s twist. The 60s twist, which you may think of as a sort of Austin Powers type twist, if you know those films. So we have bent legs. In the 60s twist, the feet are together. In this form, the feet are quite far apart, further apart than we've had them for anything except for the shortens, so they're beyond shoulder width. Knees are bent, and the whole look it's still going to be twisting, so the whole look is going to be in mirror image. Left, centre, right, centre, left, centre, right, centre. That's the look, okay? And we're going to be going sort of twist, 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 repeat, repeat, repeat. That kind of thing. Let me turn around to show you. So your feet are apart. Well, they were together at the end of the last verse, and your weight was on your right. And the first thing that you're going to do is to step very slightly to your left in order to get this separation with bent legs and have both feet pointing that way. It'll be slightly diagonal of all the way to the side, but that way. Then pivot, and you can pivot on your toes or heels or both. It's really up to you. But pivot so that you're now facing front for beat 2, and so that you're facing that way for beat 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's try that. So our step 1 is going to be that. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm emphasising the pointing forwards between the sideways ones, the ones on 2, 4, 6, 8, because that's going to be important in a moment. Let's do it again. Weights on here. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. You're going to do exactly that for the first 8. You're then going to carry on with the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then you're going to go that way again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this has the effect. You'll have done, I'm going to mirror reverse this. So you'll have done this, and this, and this, and this, and. So you kind of keep going, and actually you're going to go that way once more. Let me turn my back to you, and let's do this again. So it's going to be right, left, right, left, right, left, left, left. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left, left. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left, left. And bringing your knees forward between those, that's the point of that neutral position on the even number beats. We are then going to mirror reverse all of that. So we're then going to be going left, right, left, right, left, right, right, right. Okay? So that's 4 8s we've just taken up so far of the 6 8s in the verse. Let's do that whole thing. So it's going to be left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, right, left, right, 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 right. Yes? 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, right, left, right, right, right. And then we're going to go with the right again. Right, left, right, left, right. Bring the feet together, cross the foot over, so you're crossing your right foot in front of your left, and then turn right round anti-clockwise. That finishes the verse. So to recap, we have our right, left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, right, left, right, 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 left, right, left, right, together, round. The round isn't stupidly fast, you've got 4 beats for that. So you've got about the same speed that you had in the last verse, the turning verse. Okay, so this last verse is going, if you have not danced St. Louis Shag and you have not danced the Charleston before, this is going to be an easy verse to learn. If you have danced those before, this may be similar enough to other stuff you've done that it'll be quite confusing. Sorry. I'm going to turn my back to you, and essentially there are 2 real moves in this, and then it finishes in an incredibly easy way. So, we're going to start with our weight on the right foot, as usually happens, and we're going to do a basic from another kind of shag called St. Louis Shag, which is not really very close to collegiate shag, but things can be borrowed. So, weights on the right foot. You're going to flick your left foot forward, and then you're going to bring it down. You're going to flick your right foot forward, bring it in while raising your right leg. It's like backpedaling. I'll explain that in a moment. Tap it behind you. So the timing is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap on the 5. What I mean by backpedaling, we've done our 1, 2 with the left foot, and then it's 3, 4. So this action's a little bit like backpedaling on a bike, but you're going to tap that behind you. The tap does not have a transfer of weight, and you don't need to make a noise, and you certainly don't need to stab the floor and hurt yourself. It's just a motion. Let's do that together. 5, 6, so we're weights on the right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick left, down, flick right, and then tap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapping on the 5 together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, down, right, and tap. You're then going to put the right down underneath you and shoot the left out at the same time. So it's that. Side on, it's that. You're used to this kind of thing in hangman, so that shouldn't feel unusual. Let's go that far from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, down, flick, back pedal, tap, shoot. So that's 6. Your left foot is now free. Bring the left foot back. You can back pedal if you want to, but the canonical way of doing this doesn't back pedal on that side. Then tap it on the 8. So just the timing again, that was 6. 7, it's coming back. 8, it's tapping. You are going, in the next thing I'm going to teach, you're going to flick it forwards again. So that's where your balance should be. So the whole thing goes flick, down, flick, and tap, change weight, and tap. I'll do that again, trying to keep to a beat. 6, 7, 8. Flick, down, flick, and tap, change weight, and tap. In numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, down, flick, and tap, change, and tap. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, down, flick, and tap, change, and tap. It's quite a syncopated feel because of that change happening on beat 6. A big, strong thing is happening on an off beat. So it does have quite a syncopated feel. It'll fit the music beautifully. This is a basic step in St. Louis Shag, and in St. Louis Shag it would repeat and repeat and repeat, but it doesn't repeat here. We're going to do something different after it. So let's just do this once more again, just to kind of burn it into the brain. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick, down, flick, and tap, change, and tap. So the next 8 is going to be a move which mixes up elements of these things and mixes up lots of things that you know, but at high speed. So I'm going to call it the mix move when I'm calling all of this through the verse. It starts off the same way, left foot flick, down. Then we're going to do a flick, flick on the right foot. So these are different beats. So 1, 2, the right foot's doing nothing fancy. 3, 4, it's doing its flick, flick. Then we're going to drop on that and take the left one out. We're then going to do a hangman type thing, so drop on the left and drop on the right. Up until there, in numbers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for 8, we're going to tap behind again quickly. That's quite a quick change, because there was 7, took that left foot out to the front, but then you'll need to tap it behind. So don't sit back too much, because then you'll find the tap hard. Keep your weight a little bit more forward than you would in normal shag. So I mean, don't be sat back like this. Have your weight more forward, because that way it's easy to reach forward or backwards, whichever way you want to go. Okay, let's try this slowly. So weight's on the right. With the left foot we're going to go flick, down. Then with the right, flick, flick, down, shooting the left out, replace hangman style, tap. Again, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, down, flick, flick, replace, 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 tap. In numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's do that a bit faster. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's put these two things